Hi, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Sandy. We're the hosts of Wines Defined Podcast and now a YouTube channel.
That's right. And the topic of this video today is Let's Talk Celebrity Wine.
Yes, we're so excited to be able to try a celebrity wine here on camera because there are so many of them out there, aren't there, Michelle?
There are, and we're not going to talk about a whole bunch of them. We're just going to try this one and give you some ideas of some others that we tried that we like.
Right, but before you do, if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and listen to our podcast. And wherever you listen, please give us 5 stars on that. And let us know if there's any additional content that you would like to hear from, either in the comments below or DM us on Instagram, which is at Wines Defined Podcast. Follow us.
Yep. Subscribe. And so talking about celebrity wines, if you've noticed, I think just about every celebrity at this point has one, maybe. There's a lot. Even Snoop Dogg has one coming out this summer.
He does. That one I'm a little excited. I enjoy 19 Crimes, and that's the company that he is supposed to be.
He's affiliated with. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And it's interesting to see some of them, it's more of a vanity product. They're either approached by a wine that wants to have them come in and lend that gravitas to them to help them.
To help for branding, getting the name out, already a recognizable name.
Which is
what
this
happening
one
with
this
here.
one is. And we're trying the In Vivo, Sarah Jessica Parker's In Vivo, and we're super excited to try it. But before we talk about that, a few that we have tried before, celebrity wines.
Go ahead. Do you want to talk about the celebrity wines as we're sipping and talking?
We can do that. Yeah, let's go ahead. And so we're going to go ahead and open this.
All right. Do you want to tell them about the label? Because the label has an interesting story.
It does. And we actually are going to share a link to the video of Sarah Jessica Parker doing a wine tasting recently with the two creators of this wine, the In Vivo brand guys. And
Screw Top bonus.
Yes, Screw Top. We like those. So Sarah Jessica, she always apparently signs her emails with an X and a comma and then SJP. And so that's what you see here. It's the X, the comma, and SJP.
And she said she did this with her fingers, with acrylic paint. She did. I thought that was cool. And aqua is her favorite color.
That's right. And we have an aqua couch. So we thought that we would change our setting a little bit and sit in. This was more Sarah Jessica Parker-y, this setting here. So anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
And this is a Sauvignon Blanc. And Sandy really enjoys the Sauvignon Blanc.
I do. That's one of my favorite varietals. It's been my go-to white for years.
Right.
I like it a little bit better than Chardonnays. I like the unoaked.
Mm-hmm. And the New Zealand ones tend to have that real grapefruit. Mm-hmm. There's generally a very strong grapefruit essence to them. So and
this
I'm getting
one
that
does.
right out of the gate.
It really does. It really comes out.
See, and it's a Marlborough. Okay, so yes, if you ever see Marlborough on a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, it's going to be grapefruit all over it. So if you like that flavor, that's an area that you really want to stick to and try from.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, back to celebrity wines. Or do we
I want to sip.
Okay,
and then we'll talk.
Okay, we'll sip. We'll taste it. That is nice.
It is. It's smooth, round. It has bright acidity. Definitely lots of grapefruit. And that's
if you don't like grapefruit, this is not the wine for you.
I like grapefruit. So
this is the wine for you.
I like this a lot. This one, I'm enjoying this.
And in that video that we told you we're going to link to, one of the things, Sarah Jessica Parker wasn't a Sauvignon Blanc fan, and she sort of expressed what I expressed about Sauvignon Blanc, is they tend to be a little bit thinner, a little bit less mouthfeel. And she didn't quite know how. She didn't use wine words. And so we were like, yeah, we don't use wine words either.
We didn't know what that meant.
No. But they did leave it on its lees, which is something that we recently learned.
We just learned that helps. Leaving it on its lees is an aging process. The dead yeast cells are then introduced for about a year to up to 3 years, and it helps
less
produce.
On this. I think it was less time, but
it may have been even only 3 months or something.
Yeah, but it lended the creaminess because Sarah Jessica Parker told the winemaker she liked a Chardonnay, and she wanted it to have that more rounder mouth feel.
And it definitely does have a rounder mouth feel, and I do enjoy that with it. So now I know what to ask for too. I now know I like a Aged on the Surly.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, that's a little tip for you there. But anyway, this wine here, it did win a bunch of awards, and it was a vanity project. Not even a vanity project. It was more in the second column of. They were looking around. The two winemakers were looking around for someone to lend that gravitas to them to help pull in an audience. And Sarah Jessica Parker obviously
she has an audience.
She's very well known, and wine seems to be good for. Obviously, if you watch Sex and the City. Duh.
She should have done a vodka.
I was thinking she should have done a sparkling
like Cosmos
wine.
or sparkling would have been good.
Yeah. So anyway, they approached her about doing this project, and she was a little bit hesitant to do it, but then decided that she would, and she was very happy to say, and they were happy to say, this one actually has been well received and well rated. It's 90 points.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know what the points were.
Yeah,
so it was who gave it 90 points?
Wine Spectator gave it 90 points. I looked at a couple of them. It's a Best Buy on another one.
You bought this. What's the price point?
$18, $19, $20.
Oh, okay. A little bit more than what I thought.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was more $12-ish.
Well, I think a lot of Sauvignon Blancs can be in that higher level range. But 90 points was pretty good. And I did see it at the grocery store. I was walking by and I snapped it. I had already bought it, but I snapped it again and took a picture.
Okay.
And that's where I saw that Wine Spectator actually rated it at that. And William Wong, our
guy.
He did a great review of it and gave it 90 points as well.
Okay.
So it's on wine.com. You can check it out and see what different raters there were on that.
We like the way he writes.
We do. He does really good reviews. But anyway, so that led me to think about those celebrity wines that I like.
You went down a rabbit hole.
I did. And Francis Ford Coppola, he does like 70s.
He's one of my favorites.
He is, and he's well received, and he was actively involved with it. He was a little bit more, he approached it more from the standpoint of he bought a vineyard.
He wanted the wine. That was that's a whole different level.
75 million cases a year or something like that.
That's a ton of wine that he produces.
A lot of wine. And then we've got Snoop Dogg, who's probably more on that gravitas level, and then just the whole spectrum.
Oh, and that even makes me even think one of the goals that I want to do is I want to research wine tasting and music and the combination of it.
Oh, pulling it in. Yeah, we saw somebody who did a wine tasting where they did it with an album. And it was the wines were paired with different songs throughout the trajectory of the album, and that would be.
I want to do that, and I want to do it with Snoop Dogg.
I'm sure he's going to watch this video and say, "Sure, girls, let's do it."
I meant his wine. I know he can't come drink with us.
Oh well, he might. You just never know. Snoop, come on. So anyway, what do we think about this particular celebrity wine? We're going to give it thumbs up for us.
I am. I'm definitely going to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to give it a 4-cork. I would definitely buy it again. And I think $18. I'd pay $18 for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely give it 4 corks. And one thing that I noticed in the notes too is it said it has a long finish, and it does.
It does have a long finish. And usually, a lot of times, Sauvignon Blanc is fast, but I think it has to do with that extra little aging process, that round mouth feel. It's more complex than what a lot of Sauvignon Blancs are.
Which was interesting because in watching that video in which Sarah Jessica Parker was describing, and she actually did sound somewhat involved, and I don't know if they, how
sounded
involved
sounded like they did.
And she
had a lot of input with them.
Right, and what she said was, she was more coming from a Chardonnay standpoint, and it was like, well, I don't want to. She wanted to make a Sauvignon Blanc that was true to Sauvignon Blanc,
right,
but that gave it some other characteristics to come in. And so I really like it.
I do. I like it. It's very good.
Yeah. So you can't always discount a wine because it's got a celebrity name on it either.
Yes, and I heard that even Angelina Jolie has a wine, but she does not put her name on it. It is a wine in France, and I don't recall. I'll have to figure out what it is. I just kind of heard that in passing. I was like, oh, I need to find that out. But they did not put their name on it. And I've heard so many different ways that people have just invested, but they haven't put their name, and then they've done the opposite where they have put their name.
Well, and it depends on what you want. What the goal is. Yeah, and being a silent partner is always a good thing as well. But I can see where I noticed that when I saw a Instagram of Sarah Jessica Parker, some people were not positively commenting, and not even on the wine itself. It was more the notion of another celebrity wine kind of thing. And,
Okay.
you know, I
So they were discounting it just from the source.
right. And so I thought, well, we need to just at least try it and share it with folks and let them know.
We are not being judgmental without having tried it.
Right. And we tried it and we liked it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to say?
Just join us next time on
Wines to Find.